It's been a very lovely day, and we've been able to listen to speakers, listen to lifetime experience. When Uncle Greg was speaking, I was chatting with me. I said, that Dr. Ruiz is my very good friend. We know how we discuss this man's issue deeper than that. But this afternoon, we'll be, I'll be taking you through a very simple understanding for us to know the realities of life. Because when you want to build yourself as an entrepreneur, you want to situate yourself where you can do some impossible things. And I'll tell you one simple story. If you want to be an entrepreneur for the sake of you want to make money or you want to grow a business, there are two different things. The ones that wants to make money will surely end up. But the ones that wants to build business, because the ones that wants to make money only care about one thing: what is my revenue? But the one that wants to build business, it is about how many people uses my services. And that is where the intuition, that's where the knowledge get hidden. If you begin to check, I sell a plate of food, how much do I make? That is you're checking your revenue. But if the other man is checking, how many people is buying my plate of food? He doesn't care about that revenue. He's caring about the quality of service. He's caring about the satisfaction. And it is that quality of service and satisfaction that will bring the wealth and not just the money. Are we connecting? So we're bringing this to tell you the topic I'll be speaking on, talking about the nexus between mentorship and entrepreneurship. And I make it easy for you. Some of you intentionally resist mentorship. Originally, when myself and me were talking about this event, until I asked him, will I be doing anything for you? He said, Kai. He said, I wanted to catch you off guard. I'll give you a mic. I said, okay, now. And when he said that, I was just thinking, okay, what will I do? But within a short space of time from when we met in Lagos, I had a very ugly experience. And immediately he said he would give me a mic. I said, okay, I will talk about that ugly experience and bring it to reality. Not too long ago, because that is what built up this topic that we're dealing about, I picked up a young person whom I feel has very big potential. I said, okay, walk with me. Let me take you through the part of this. And I'll tell you the story and I'll call it as short as I can. Within a period of 3 months, I've taken this young man for us to sit on the table with 6 governors in Nigeria. I've taken this young man within this period of 6 months for us to sit with over 10 ministers, head of parastatals in this country. I was preparing someone for something. And guess what? I took him to different travels and we went to meet Afrezimbak. This is a young man you're planning to build because you believe in his energy. And we went to Afrezimbak in a seated conference table like this. We were busy being processed on how projects are being financed, how to raise capital. And I took him for that program because there was a particular lecture that would come, and that lecture was based on reserve-based financing, how to finance oil and gas companies based on the reserve on the soil. And I was doing this in preparation that in the next 2-3 months to come, the President Bola Ahmed Asiwaju will begin to auction the oil license. I said, okay, if I prepare you to know this, I'll hand over this transaction for you to from there build yourself and be who you want to be. We started a conference. When we got there, I told him there are 2 things you can get from this conference. You learn and you build relationship. He was seated by my side. We did a conference for 3 days. Do you know what happened? I never saw this young man take a note. I never saw this young man meet somebody and interact and exchange a card. In my mind, I was just wondering, probably there are divine AI learning process. So I was wondering to see what happened. So returning back to Nigeria, I called a mutual friend. I said, listen, I think I'm disappointed and I'm making a wrong decision in the doors I'm opening and exposing this person. And I explained to this mutual person what happened. I said, okay, I will invite him over to tell me what happened. I invited him over to okay, give me a note of what we've learned, what has happened. Because you were here. I was taking note myself. I was reaching out to people and building relationships that could be used. Gentlemen and ladies, do you know what this young man told me? I did not volunteer to go that trip. You're the one that put me on that list. This is why we're talking about mentorship and entrepreneurship. He said, I did not. Clearly in my face. I'm like, okay, I made a mistake. Are we connecting? When you were born, either your father or your mother or your aunt in the house mentored you how to sit down. Somebody in the house mentored you how to crawl. So I don't understand why people believe that you can run a business without somebody mentoring you. And you tell me tomorrow you're going to be a very successful entrepreneur. I myself, I have been mentored by most reputable names in the world. When I mean reputable names in the world, we were having a lunch and I was mentioning people, global names that some of you would know. But the important thing is, what does this mentorship offer you? Structural guidance. One great philosophy said, it is better to learn from others' experience than to learn from your own experience. Because from your own experience, you get delayed, you get deniers. But when you learn from others' experience, so this just shows us that your speed of learning and your cost of error is highly reduced when you have a mentor. Those mistakes you would have made, it's like when I'm telling you things. If I ask you now, it can take you the next 6 months to open the door of the governor and sit with the governor one-on-one to discuss. But somebody wants to mentor you and he'll take you to that meeting. And you don't have the ability to even sit there and listen to the conversation. I don't know which textbook can offer you that. Because it is never written. In any textbook. The ability to follow your mentor to a meeting where you begin to learn body languages and the signs they portray. It's also never written in any book. Clearly, and you must submit yourself to mentorship if you must grow business. There's no two ways about it. It's not negotiable. And some of this mentorship are things you never could find in any study book or movie. So the role of mentorship is very critical. He's the one to give you strategic directions on key stages of your life. There are people today, if I'm doing certain things, I'll call them. One of the easiest person that have mentored me that I have is Ben Murray Bruce, because he takes you to the cleaners. And one of the things I learned from Ben Murray Bruce as my mentor was, do only those things you can do. Anybody that knows Silverbird very well, I came to work with Silverbird as a consultant to help them raise funds and do so many things. But I eventually took Ben as a friend, as my mentor, and I learned so much from him. Because you must have someone who can share practical, real-life experience with you. When I mean practical, real-life experience with you. Someone who can open doors, give you access to partners, give you access to customer network, irrespective of the direction you play. And that person, and sometimes you may be very down. You need that emotional support. You need that one person who you can cry to. Because the person you have chosen as a mentor, you no longer have secrets with that person. First, understand that quality. Is the person you must lock into one room and tell the truth. Is that person who you have submitted yourself that he has the ability to yell at you and insult you 10 times. You tell him, thank you, sir. You don't come back and say it's affecting my mental health. Are we talking? You don't come back and say it's affecting my mental health. And let me tell you the truth of the matter. You see this Gen Z that talks about mental health. Let me tell you why they talk about that mental health. I can share with you. The three basic things of life are no longer their need. See, in our days, as a young boy growing up getting your first job, even if your guy insults you, insult your father, insult your grandfather in grave, you say, thank you, sir. Tomorrow morning you come to work. You know why you're coming to that work? Because your father has given birth to 7 children, you're number 1, you have 6 to train. You come to that work. But try these people, because they have a house where they're going to sleep. They have someone who will give them food and buy them clothes and give them allowance. And they are working, their parents is still giving them allowance. Why would they say it's affecting mental health? Why? But the truth be said, that you must know, the man that is complaining of mental health today, his father never complained. And if you go back to the society and check, there are still people of that age grade that don't complain of mental health because they carry that burden. That mental health complaint is a result of lack of burden. And I must tell you that for free. When there's burden, there's no mental health complaint. Are we communicating? So that puts you through into that. Having said this, the question is, how do you find your right mentor who will take you through this? If you don't have the ability to detect that, the person that can mentor me may be different from who will mentor me. It's not the same person. Because the temperament may not be the same. The way of explaining may not be the same. The way of understanding may not be the same. The way of tolerance may not be the same. So you must develop how to detect your own right mentor, because it always differs. There are people, if you give them a page to read, you are their mentor. They will easily take it and read and understand it. But there are also people that you just need to talk to them. There are other people that you just need to do the work and they see you doing it. So you must be able to map up top 3 gaps first. That's why you need that mentor. If you don't know why you need it, you can't understand the role he's playing in your life. Is your gap funding? Is it operational? Is it marketing? You must be able to understand. And be rest assured, one person may not be able to fill this gap as your mentor, because that one person has a special skills. So, and in that same case, you cannot tell me you are a medical practitioner and you're looking for a mentor who is a civil engineer. Could it work? Are we connecting it? It no work. So you must look for someone close to or in the same discipline who understands that and can drive you and take you through that and make a concise, clear outreach by asking your questions. Don't be intimidated on the person. So I will ask you, start drawing up a short list of those that are around you that you want to submit yourself. Somebody will just be there too. I had somebody, he's late. A former governor, he's late. He was my mentor. And one of the things that drew me close to him is, even if it's in a meeting for the next 5 hours, as you people are talking, he will never say a word. He will just be taking notes. You imagine where a man that is 60-something then, and I was 40-something, I'm approaching him to talk. He will say, hold on, let me take my diary. As you're talking, he's taking notes and writing. And at the end of the day, you now realize that I eventually learned the listening capacity from him. Before, but it is shark. Before you talk, I will give you theories based on several principles. And you know, human nature, and I'll tell you this, when you're talking, your listening ability dies. When you're listening, your talking ability dies. The two can never work together, irrespective of how you're wired, either left or right. So take your time and find out those that could work with you, serve you, and be your mentor. And submit yourself to it in details. The clear part is the core benefits that you get from your mentor. One, you will now have the fast learning curve. Instead of you going through that process, having that issues, you have a fast learning curve. And luckily for you, you also create a better access to capital because there are introductions they will give you that matters. There are doors they will open that will take you. You may also have a clear and improved operation, but most importantly is strong leadership and accountability. We've listened to it here time without number about the importance of structure. Structure, structure, structure. But let me tell you the most important that you gain from mentorship is credibility boost. There are someone that by virtue of just seeing you with honor Hanachi, he will believe I can deal with you. A word is not said. I did not do any introduction. There's no word said. Just by virtue of there is this interaction between you and this person. I have accepted you to walk with you into his presence, and I can discuss certain situations with you. That credibility transfer, you inherit it immediately. But the next question is, how do you use it? Will you use it well or will you abuse it? That decision is on you. 9 out of 10, most people, our smart boys, they will always abuse it where it matters most. So that credibility boost is what you need. It goes a long way when you inherit such by having a mentor. And that is key to us. Here we are going to take clearly this part. Me, I'll try to connect with what you asked me to do, bring the finance part. If I must tell you, for those that listen to me, one of my, what I do most is raising capital for national and subnational government. That's what I do most. And these are capital for big projects, highly intensive. We're already in December. I can say from 1st of January to today, I've raised over $600 million in this year for different projects. And when you say you're raising capital, I'm trying to find the best way to put it. Because for someone like me, on a lighter mood, my whole body is already committed to good things. So there's no two ways about it. And shortage of money is shortage of blood. You will get sick. There's no two ways about it. And for you to be an entrepreneur, you will surely, whether you like it or not, raise capital. The need can never end. It depends on the level where you want to play and how far you want to go. And people think raising capital, debt, is an issue. It's the best way to be safe in business. Did you hear me? If you want to be extra safe in business, learn to raise capitals and public capitals and from any place. When I owe people, I sleep very well. Did you hear that part? When I owe people, I sleep very well. If I take this stroll, if I can owe everybody here, do you know what I've established? I've established prayer point. They will pray for me. Because they will never allow anything happen to me. Is that not the fact? They will constantly be praying for me because they will know God bless Dr. Noah so that he will pay me. Is that not the prayer point? And he will, even when I have the money to pay complete, I will never. Because I don't want to cut off that prayer point. I'll give you a little, I'll tell you, okay, you know I'm servicing these debts. Even if you look at it in practical sense, when you owe the Nigerian banks very well, they don't call you to ask for that money. They will schedule meeting. Tell us when you are available for us to come for a meeting. And they are the one paying for that meeting. No. They will book a dinner for you, service you. They say, we want just to tell you that our bank is doing well, we are making well. But, sir, you know, just try if you can service that debt a little. They are not in a hurry to confront you. That is the conversation. So what are we trying to say is this. Don't be scared to accept investors in your business. Because that's your 100%. And that's the problem I have with the young people trying to do business. Everybody wants to answer CEO. CEO of what? CEO of nothing. You better, if you see, if they have read my profile, I'm not CEO, I'm a managing partner. And that is where you connect with the reality of it. Because if this man comes to me and introduces himself, he's the CEO of this, the typical Nigerian mentality, I say, this is the end of the business. Can I continue? No. But when you have a mentor, you see those people that began to put his name as their chairman, now them wise person. They know why they put her. Because once they profile the company and check and say, Nia, this chairman, no, we can do business. Nia will not be there, something will go wrong. That's a trust. It's a mentorship trust that they're earning. There's no amount that can buy that. It's a mentorship trust. And that mentorship trust was billions. It is not just this. So once you have a mentor, the help in practice is very real. The help in practice is very real. When you come to fundraising, it can refer to people. It can refer to people and say, go to here, go to here, go to here. See this person, see this person, see that person. And once you walk up there and say, this person sent me, forget about it. I remember when I was in the village. It was during Easter period, and after I left, one of my little nephew called me that he's still in the village and he wants to travel. I said, okay, what's the problem? I'm not the vehicle, I'm not the fuel. What are you telling me? The whole story landed on phone. I said, if my name cannot provide money for you where you are, it means you're no longer related to me. He said, what is that? I said, who is the nearest person around you? He called the person. I said, go and tell him I said, should give you $500,000. He went to the person and I said, you should give him $500,000. I said, hold on, let me bring it. I said, so why were you disturbing my life? When you have a mentor, his name open doors. He raised capital for you that you can never imagine. I used to have one mentor too, who I work closely with. Those days, in my oil and gas advisory, I will come and tell him the challenge I have this. In one of the cases, I explained to him the case I had with the Minister of Petroleum. He said, Just do me one thing. Find out when the minister is on seat. I said, God will do that. Do you know what he did? One clear afternoon, very sunny afternoon, I drove to his house. I said, the minister is on seat. I was just told, no. He said, let's go. We entered the car. We drove. I saw madness that day. I used to think I'm radical or irrational about that. We went to the minister's office. He sat with the minister and says, this man is my son. He wants something in your office, and you're telling him he can't get it. Don't you know he's my son? He said, I know. The minister said, okay, because you came, I'll make sure I'll give it to him. This was around February, but we are going to finish the processing in October, and he will get that thing. It's okay. Is that all it takes? He said, yeah. He said, give me the letter now. Put October date when you finish. Just I already have the letter. That is what mentors can do for you. And I walked away from that with that letter. So I'm challenging you for us to understand what it happens and what it does. The fifth of it is the governance. Your mentor will help you set up governance structures and enforce it for you. If you go and carry one old man who has no intention and understanding and say he's the chairman of your board, you're only waiting for you to bring Christmas rice and oil for him. He cannot caution you when you're wrong. He cannot whip you to the line. Please, always take people that can say, you know what, your corporate governance is wrong. Your corporate governance is wrong. In our firm in DPH, my chairman is a two-time MD of a bank, one-time ED of Bank of Industry, and one-time MD of African Development Bank. At least he can discipline me, and I obey. Serious. There's no two ways about it. So that tells you what we are talking about and the importance of it. John is in real estate. Friend to John real estate. Who is complementing each other? So you must be able to tell yourself clearly what is important. If you don't have the perseverance and the determination, don't just wake up and call yourself an entrepreneur, because you will have yourself to blame about it. There are some statistics I'm going to roll out at the end of this. It will shock you. So if you must call yourself an entrepreneur, you must be able to have a very strong perseverance and determination. Not only do you have that, you must have that self-confidence. When I finished talking about the 3 C's of entrepreneurship in one of my lessons, Lee asked me, I mentioned 5 things. Lee asked me, where's the 5? Lee, I'm giving 4. I'm still holding 1. So, but this is, without your self-confidence, I don't know how you, because if you begin to doubt yourself as an entrepreneur, you can't move anywhere. Who is going to believe you? You want your workers to believe you that we're headed to somewhere. How are they going to believe you? It's just like when my little related nieces and cousins come to me about marriage. Oh, I found a husband. He so loved me. I'll tell you, will you just shut up? What is love? Do you know what it means to say somebody loves you? The boy will come, oh, I find a girl. I want to marry. She's so. I said, will you just shut up? You are asking somebody who is going east to stop where he's going, to follow you in your own destiny. Hello, where is the agreement? Love grows not because of you people met each other. Because for you to talk to someone and says, come and walk with me. You want that person to buy into your dream, into your vision. You must be able to infuse your vision into him, to believe in you, and to understand you. Because if you don't achieve that, you only have a staff who will resign one day, or jackpot one day, or try another thing. And that is what is very, very important to us. If you don't have these qualities, if you don't have these qualities, you are not willing to take risks that are very, very. See, the new phase I am in my career or in my business tells me exactly what it is because I take enormous risk. When I walk up to federal government or any government of any other country, do you know what I tell them? I don't ask you to pay me. I ask you, give me a mandate to raise the SY amount. If I raise it, I take my commission. You don't pay me. I tell you, give me a mandate. I can raise $1 billion for you based on key project. But when I raise it, I'm taking 10% away. And I guarantee you that that money will be raised in a single digit, not in a double digit. And if you say yes to it, put it in writing. Give me the mandate. And that is a risk. I'm going to pay for all the studies leading to that raising that capital. I'm going to deploy resources to it. So that is where the risk is and the creativity that follows in it. And that makes that transaction very successful. Like I said, in the entrepreneurship, you choose who becomes your mentorship. You also have to understand where you belong to so that it will guide you to know who you're deciding. So I put up this to give you a very clear example of few people that you know all over the world and you thought they don't have entrepreneurs, they don't have mentors or this. How many of you know of a man called Ibitme Baningo? Have you ever heard of that name? Ibitme Baningo. Eh? All State Trust Bank. Do you remember that Tony Elumelu Jimovia was his staff? Even Akin, Bank PHB, they were all his staff. So they passed through someone who mentored and put them up to where they are. All of us here about Jack Ma, somebody did that work to bring out the best out of him. When you hear about Aliko Dangote, go and ask the Dan Tata, the uncle, the late one, the process he took when he was a salesperson. He was a warehouse manager. He was a warehouse manager in distribution of goods. So what happened to that? And from there, he realized that what they were doing was selling. He started by selling and realized, if I can manufacture what I sell, I'll be safer. He's into manufacturing today. And this gives you a clear understanding that in life, mentorship, you can't run away from it if you want to cross that part of success. There must be someone you look up to. There must be someone you consult. When that cloud gathers against you, which phone number do you dial? And who answers that call for you? This is very important. Will the cloud gather? Yes, it will surely come. But when they gather, what is the number you? It happens to me. I'm not saying this. Even at this level, it happens. And this cause you place, it has nothing to do with religion or ethnicity. It has nothing to do with. I had a transaction with the Islamic Bank, and it got to the peak where we cannot move forward. Do you know who I called? I called the man died 2 weeks ago. Dahiru Bauchi. As of that time, he was still 94 years. He died at 98. When I called him, Dahiru Bauchi said, where are you? I said, I'm in Abuja. He said, take a plane and pick me. Let's go to Mauritania. We'll resolve it before I come back. Took a plane straight to Mauritania. We came back. It was a closed transaction. So when the cloud gathers for you, which phone number do you dial? Check your phone. Check your list. It will tell you. That phone is not just to call people you go out and hang out and chill, but somebody must be able to do some things for you. So when you look at this list, even the way you look at Richard Branson, he will tell you everything about business. Hello, where is Freddie for him? He played a role. Tutelage is very important. And my biggest concern about it is, see, I am a typical Igbo man. You see all those people that own shop, eh? When you're taken there to be part of that shop, you know the first assignment you do. Number one assignment, you're responsible for buying food that everybody will eat. You do that for like 3 months. Nobody give you any other thing. You graduate from it, the next assignment you do, you're the one responsible for opening the shop and sweeping everywhere. You've not started learning anything. But those are disciplines. Humility that has been built in you until you get to the last stage where the Oga will take you to where he buys the goods direct. You qualify from buying food to opening store to taking inventory to going to warehouse to writing receipt to attending to customer before you get to the point where you sell by yourself. Mentorship is a process. Very, very intentional, never accidental. Measurable impact, if you are under somebody, you should be able to know whether you're progressing or you're not progressing. You check all this, your growth, your revenue, your retentions, both in human capital and everything, and you'll be able to tell yourself whether is that mentorship working for you. And that measurable impact will tell you exactly where we are. So I'll give you these global statistics to help you run and check the rest. 70% of mentor small businesses survive after 5 years. So those that are not mentored always collapse. This is global statistics. So if you think you know it all, you're not. Then clearly, let's clear ourselves obviously. There's difference between making money and growing business. Whatever you're doing, if you're there to make money, just continue that place so that you know the day it ends, it ends. But if you want to grow a business, you need a mentor. Otherwise, you'll be those ones that in 5 years it dies. By then you have started buying good shoes and good clothes and this. After that 5 years, what happened? He used to be, is that not okay that I used to know? That is the description. Why? Because okay refused to subject himself and learn from that. He says, mentored firm, over 20% are more likely to remain after 1 year. It's a clear number. These are global number. 89% of entrepreneurs who had a mentor were once satisfied with their business performance. It's a clear statistics who shows you where we are. Startup with mentors, 3.5% are likely to scale. They are clear statistics. They are not numbers. So it gives you clear understanding where we are heading to and what our intention is. And we must be intentional to submit ourselves. If we must be a good entrepreneur, if we must grow business, there's no option to it. It is the only way to go. Said mentoring participant had a 90% rate of advancement compared to non-participants. What you're doing here is part of mentorship. But singling it out to be into that think tank is getting it deeper. And don't be outside that. It's the businesses with highly engaged employees achieve 80% more productivity than businesses with disengaged. When you look at the 94% also reported there, these are clear statistics. The question you ask yourself is, today, where do I belong to? What do I do next? Would there be challenges? There will always be, but there will always opportunities and way out. How to face challenges? To survive and grow, you need strong strategy, mindset, and resilience. If you don't have all this, you are likely to fall apart. I leave you with this conclusion. Entrepreneurship is a destination, but mentorship is a compass to that destination. Did you get that? Entrepreneurship is a destination, but mentorship is a compass that will lead you. If you're coming to the Sheraton Hotel here and you don't have a compass that will bring you here, you will surely get to Sheraton, but maybe next tomorrow. A mentor turns lesson into shortcut. An entrepreneur turns shortcut into impact. I need you to take this message home. Remind yourself of this. An entrepreneur's greatest advantage is not capital. It is the right guidance. And that's what mentorship provides for you. The right guidance, not to fall apart. Behind every resilient business is a mentor who believes first. Never you choose a mentor that doesn't believe in you and your capacity to do it. He must first believe in you and believe in what you're doing, and that gives other. So give back what you learn. Mentorship multiplies success. When we finish building you, build others. That's the only way we'll have a better Nigeria. There's no any other way. As you build, build others. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for listening. With a standard ovation and appreciation for Allah.
That guy.
One more time, that is appreciation.